parameterized with brand, model, screen size, color, price, processor. Right, sir?
Okay, so can you see my screen?
So, one second, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me open the questions. Okay, which one? Sixth one.
6. Yes.
Okay, so it is saying laptop. So what we need to do, we need to create a class.
Yes, sir.
Name of the class is laptop,
Laptop.
and the
It,
parameter names are these are the parameters, right?
right, sir.
And we need to create a constructor.
Yes, sir.
So it will be a parameterized constructor, and I need to pass all these data in the constructor, right?
Right.
Then we need to create the getters and setters, and we need to create the object of the class using different values of the value. Okay, so what is the problem? What problem you are facing?
Like a brand that is string, na, sir. Model.
Brand, yeah, it's a string. So tell me the values that a brand can have. So when I say age, you are not going to say X. You are not going to say XYZ. You are not going to say Mumbai, right? You are going to say a particular value for that age. Say for example 25, 30, right? So these are the data and the type for 25, 30, 90, all these values. The type of this data is integer. So the brand is something which can have a value like Acer,
Right.
right? HP, Lenovo. So all these are brands. So all these type of data are what type of data?
String.
Right. So brand will be string value.
And model.
Model. So what type of model? So you can automatically find the model, right? So if what type of laptop do you have?
HP.
HP. What is the model?
Model, that means, sir.
Model as in HP is which model? So you just have a HP laptop or you have a specific type of HP Pavilion. Understood?
No, no.
HP
Only
DD5.
HP.
Only HP. But there is a model which is defined in most of the laptops. Okay.
Okay.
So on the top of
So
your screen you can
that
see
is that is a string, na, sir.
yeah, that is going to be a string.
And screen size.
So
Screen size, that
yes,
is 2 into 4.
no, you don't have
4
that type of laptop screens. Laptop screen used to be 14 inch, right? 15.5 inch, 15 inch, right?
Right, sir.
15.6 inch. So what type of data are they? 14 or 15 or 15.6?
Integer.
Integer. 15.6 can't be an integer, right?
Right, sir.
So when you have such a scenario, when you have an integer, then float or double, so you can go with the higher value.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to define 15 as integer, it is fine. If you want to define 15.6 as integer, it will store only 15. It will leave the decimal part, right? So
Yes, sir.
you can take a double value for 15.6, right? So you should go with double screen size. So when the screen size is 15, it's going to store as 15.0. It's fine. We have the data. And if the screen size is 15.6, it will store as 15.6 only. So we still have the data. We're not losing anything. So the screen size can be a double. Color. So what type of colors do you have? What is the type of color?
Yeah, that is string, na.
That is string. Price,
Integer.
processor, name of processor like Intel. You have an Intel processor, Core 2 Duo
Yes,
Core.
sir.
So that is a string only, right? That's a string only.
Okay.
So any other issues in this in these type of parameters?
No, sir.
So
That
now
is
you
a little
understood how you can
confused
find the
about
type.
this.
So whenever you are looking at any of the classes, right? So these are see whenever you look at any of the parameter, say for example price. So you need to list down all the different values that can be possible for the price, right? When you say what is the price, nobody says that the price is ABC, right? It doesn't have a meaningful data. So when you say price is 10,000 rupees, okay, or 10,000 or 15,000, 25,000. So these are the data 10,000, 15,000, 25,000. So that data can be represented as a double, as an integer. Okay, so you need to think about the data. Okay, you first
Okay,
write
sir.
down the different data that are possible for a specific variable, then you will get to know what type of data is it. Gender, it can be male, female, or unisex. So see, like it's about the bag. So for which type of gender this bag is like this bag like supports which type of, for which type of gender. It can be male, female, or unisex. You can take any, like you can take it's a string only, right?
Right.
Fine.
And one more thing, sir.
Mhm.
Uh, why we are doing copying instructor parameterized into instance variable?
Why are we doing that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So anyone else having this doubt, like why are we copying the parameter from the constructor to this dot parameter equals to the parameter from constructor? Why do we do that? Is anybody having that doubt? I want to like explain it.
Now, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
access the instance variable, then you should use this parameter if the variable name is same, right?
Right, right, right. So only when we want to assign something to the object, okay, Sanya, when we want
Oh,
to update the value or the variable present within an object, then we try to access that specific object's variable using this dot operator. Okay, this operator. So I'll try to actually explain you this thing. Just give me a second. I'll try to make some elements over here. Fine. So I think you can see it. Fine. Okay. See what we have. We have a JVM, right? JVM as in Java Virtual Machine. JVM is the Java Virtual Machine. So within JVM, when what we have a Java source code, right? Which is called
right.
as which is in something like hello dot Java extension, right? This is the Java code which we are having, and it's called as the Java source code. So when we compile, what it generates Java bytecode, or it's hello dot class, right? Then we want to run it. So how do we run? We run the hello class, right? So when we run this, what is actually happening? Like within this JVM is containing certain different areas, right? Just a second. Okay, fine. So what I was saying, yeah, I was saying when we first write the Java code, we compiled it, the bytecode is ready, then we try to run the class. Okay, what is happening? The JVM has many parts. Like JVM is not just a single machine or something. It's a virtual machine which is similar to an operating system, or which is similar to a computer system where you can run this hello, right? So what it needs a memory, right? Like it needs a RAM, it needs some processor, right? Say for example you have some core processor, some sort of processor that you have having Intel core or something, AMD, you can have AMD, okay, you can have Snapdragon, because these are the important, like most widely used ones. So when we have such a scenario and if you want to run the code, what is basically happening is the hello compiled class of the hello dot class file, the bytecode, it's having certain instructions. For example, the instruction may be print something to screen. It can be load a file, okay, or maybe store some data into a variable. So it can be having certain instructions. It won't be written like these. It will be having certain code for that, but there are just instructions within hello dot class. We just have certain instructions, but these things are going to be performed. These things are going to be executed. So till the time these things are executed, they are just some sort of data. They're just some sort of dot class file. Okay, when we say Java space hello, or when we run the class, what happens? JVM loads this class. Okay, JVM loads this class into its virtual machine. So it allocates some amount of memory. Say for example, if it needs some 2 MB of memory, it will take 2 MB from your primary RAM, primary memory, and within this 2 MB of memory, it will try to load all the data that it wants to load. Okay, it will try to create a file. It will try to like create an integer variable so that it can store some data within that. It will try to get access to the console so that it can print something into screen. So all these things are which were just dumped before some time, which were just some instructions before some time, now they started processing, right? So when JVM starts going through your hello.class file line by line, it executes each and every instruction in its virtual machine. If it wants to calculate, if it wants to add two numbers 2 and 3, it is going to generate 5. So what is that? The generation of 5, it needs some processor, right? It will need some microprocessor, microcontroller, then only it can add 2 and 3, right? So all these things are going to be happening one by one, right? So JVM is going to do that one by one. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. One second. I want to generate one more thing. Okay, fine. So what is happening within this hello class? Say for example, I'm not having hello right now, I'm having a student class. Okay, the student class, what it is having, a student class is having a name, it's having a roll number. Okay, these are the two things in a student class. Understood? So when this class is present in your system, in its memory, it is not yet run by Java, not yet run by JVM. So it is just dumb, it doesn't have anything to do. It does not have any physical existence till it is executed on JVM. So what it means that like you have just a student class, it's the metadata. So the class is just metadata. Metadata as in it is just information about some data, like information about some students. So what is happening, you just have the student class, it's a simple byte code. What we are going to basically represent right now, we want to represent Sanya, for example. So Sanya is going to be a student, the name is going to be Sanya, okay, the roll number it's going to be something like 123. So these are the actual data which needs to be loaded into memory. Then only we can have like this student is having a meaning, right? When we say it is a student, we don't mean anything. But when I say this is a student and the name of the student is this, the roll number is this, so these are the actual data. You understand? So I just have this information which is called the like metadata, or which is called just the information. But when I run the code, when I try to create an object of student, how do I write student Sanya equals to new student? So what I'm giving Java is I'm going to give Java this statement, right? This is a statement which is going to be executed by JVM. So what JVM does is it is going to execute this statement on its virtual machine. It is going to load something in memory and all. So what it does, in your RAM, it uses some memory to store these data. Understood? This data as in your name and your roll number. Understood? But again, when I say I'm going to create another object, so this is going to allocate another memory in RAM. So now it is going to allocate some more memory in RAM. So initially when I executed this line, it allocated some amount of your RAM. Now when I executed this line, it is going to allocate some more memory in RAM. So what we have within our constructor, if you look into the constructor, what we have the roll number, sorry, name and roll number. within the constructor body, we have a public over here. Okay, fine. So within the constructor body, I say this dot name equals to name, right? This dot roll number equals to roll number. So what is happening when we try to execute this? When we call this constructor, we are passing this constructor Abhishek and triple two. So Abhishek name is going to be holding the value Abhishek, roll number is going to hold triple two. But the object, when we are executing this line, JVM is executing this line, it is accessing some RAM, right? It is using some RAM memory for holding the object that is created, for holding the object which is created, right? So that object is a different memory location, and these data are different. These data are temporary. It will be vanished after this method is executed. So before this method gets complete, before we lose control of these data, what we need to do, we need to go to the object which was created using new, and we need to go and access that object's name field. Okay, that object will have a name parameter. We're going to access that name of that specific object and copy the value which was passed to constructor. So we have passed Abhishek over here. So we're going to access the Abhishek object and set the name of Abhishek object as Abhishek. We're going to access the Abhishek object, and we're going to access the roll number field of Abhishek object, and we're going to assign the value triple two into that, so that when I move to student Sanya, we're not yet losing the value of Abhishek. Abhishek is still there. So Sanya object which is created, we're going to assign this string into Sanya's name field, and this 123 roll number into Sanya's roll number field. So basically, the constructor is going to help you to access a specific memory location or the specific variable or parameter of a class or of an object at runtime, so that you can copy the value which is passed to your constructor. We can have multiple objects of the same class, right? So whenever we are getting some data in the constructor, we need to copy that temporary data into the object's specific location. So whichever object is calling it, like whichever object is being created, that object's name field will have the value. Similarly, this object's roll number field will have this temporary value. Tomorrow when I create this student Abhishek, Abhishek's name field will have the value, and Abhishek's roll number field will have the value. Understood, Sanya?
Yes, sir. So basically, for storing purpose, we just need to copy that.
Yeah, for storing the value into the specific object. Okay, which object you are accessing right now. If you want to access that specific object, then you are going to use this operator. You are setting this operator's name value, and if you have passed Sanya, it will be assigned to that. This operator's roll number value that will be assigned.
Okay.
Okay, any other classes from this which you are facing some problem, or you may face some problem? You can create the getters and setters.
No, sir.
I have one question regarding constructor.
Okay, go on, please.
So here the constructor is mentioned in public. So whether the constructor can be private and protected or only public?
No, see, this private and protected, these are basically the scope of the method or of the class or of the variable. So if it is a constructor, the constructor is specifically used for creating the object. If you want some other class to create your class's object, then you need to make it public. Okay? If you want others to be able to make your object, then you can make it public. If you don't want others to make your object, then you make it private.
Okay, please. Got it.
Avinash, I'm getting some sound. Please, noise. Just mute yourself. Fine. Okay, so this is one thing which we are looking at. The second part is the method creation. So, Sanya, have you gone through all the methods? Have you tried to solve them, create the methods?
Yes, sir.
So, are you able to do all of them? Are you facing
Yes.
some problem? So, can you just share your screen and let's see what type of which approach you have taken. If there is something better, we can understand. Then we'll try to understand. If there is something better, we can tell you. Then we'll tell you. Just share your screen with us. Okay.
Sir, actually, I have done this program in another laptop.
Okay. So can you send me a mail or using something after the class is over? That's also fine. You can
Okay,
send it
sir.
to me. Okay, fine. So okay. Let's do one thing now. So I'll try to solve this question fifth. Okay, fifth question. Okay.
Okay.
So what it is asking? It is asking. It what this like question wants is this question wants you to create a method with these details. The method's name is going to be square. The scope is going to be private. Like the method cannot be accessed outside the class. It's going to be private. Argument, the method is going to take one argument. That's a number. And what this method is going to do, the method is going to return that number's square value. So how do you calculate square? If I say 5, you're going to calculate square by multiplying
5
5
into
with
5.
itself. 5 by 5. So it is going to be 25. So the method is going to be there, and I am going to pass 5 to that method in the arguments. The method is going to calculate 5 multiplied by 5, and the result it is coming, it is going to store that result into a variable, and then the method is going to return that variable to the caller who has called it. It's very simple. So Sanya, just do one thing. Let just help me out while writing the code. So I'm going to create a new Java project.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Say for example, methods assignment. Within that, I'm creating a new class. You can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is question number 5. Let me give a package com.example.method question 5. Okay. So the class is created. What I want, so I'll go back to the question and I'll come back again. So let me do one thing. Let me copy all these things from here. Copy and paste it in a multi-line comment. Fine. Seems okay. Great. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to write the method. The first thing is the scope of the method, right? The method is going to be private, so I'm going to write private. Okay.
Private,
Then
integer,
integer,
and square.
square,
Then वो method वाला sir वो
right? These
brackets.
brackets.
Yes.
Then curly braces.
Curly braces.
Okay. Anything else in that?
Arguments we have to pass that number.
So that number is going to be an integer value.
Integer.
Integer
n.
number. Okay, I have written number. Fine.
Fine, sir.
Okay. So what I'm going to do over here? Work is return the square of the number. So what I need to do first, calculate the square value, right?
Right, sir.
So how to calculate the square value?
Square equals to number into number.
Int square equals to number multiplied by number. Fine. So what I'm going to do next?
Sys out.
Sys out. So is there written anything that you need to print the number? No.
Okay, return है ना?
You just return. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So we'll return, right? Return square.
Return
See, it's very
square.
simple, right? So I need to actually use this method so that I can see that this method is working properly. What to do? How should I check if this method is working properly?
Call the main method and write.
Right, I'll write a main method. Perfect. So the main method is here. Okay, so I need to call this square function, right? So first I need to have a number. Say for example the number is 5. Okay, I need to calculate the square and I need to print that. So what should I do now?
You need to create the object for that square method.
So I need to create an object of the class, not the method. Object of the class. So this is the class. So I'm going to create one object.
Question.
Okay.
Letter reference. Okay.
Equal to new
class name.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now
then question dot method name.
Question
dot method. Okay.
Which method? Square.
Yes. You need to pass the parameter here.
and this method is returning a value. This method is returning an integer value. So I need to store that into integer square value, and I need to print that.
Correct.
Sanya, are you understanding,
Yes.
or you still
Yes,
have
sir.
any problem? Understood?
Yes, sir.
So if I run this code, it should give me 25. Mass Java application. So it's printing 25. If I change the value to 6, it should print 36. Run as Java application. So it's working fine. So if I make it 9, it's going to print 81. Fine. So it's working for us. So now you understood how to convert from the problem statement into a specific method type and all.
Which one, sir?
No, this one, this method, how we approached, what was the
Yes,
approach, how we converted it, you have understood, right? So it's
yes.
fine. So Abhinas, you have any doubt? I think Devasish I have understood mostly, so he's coping up great.
No.
You can write the you have you done anything? Any of the question have you tried to solve?
No, I'll try the weekend.
Okay. Okay, fine. So so let's do one thing. Let's go to the methods that we have loops, and let's try to solve some of the loops. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I'll do one thing. I'll create a new Java project. I think I already have a loops demo, so I'll go and use that one. New demo one. Sorry. Control N class loop dot exam tests and loop one. Okay.
I have one question. So every example you are doing, you are creating the package, right?
Right.
Actually, while in real time, every class will declare. At that time, you need to include in a package, or it's
See,
not
it's
necessary.
it's not necessary, it's not mandatory, but making packages will help you to organize the code in proper way. So if you want to if you want to look at all the code who are accessing the database, you can go to a package which is called database package, right?
Okay.
com.example.database. So within that package, you won't find any code which is dealing with the file, okay, which is dealing with some sort of like UI, but you will find all the code which is dealing with the database.
So mostly we can reuse that codes using that package, right? We can call that package and reuse that code.
Right. Yeah, we can call that package specific package, and we can like import that class, and we can start using the methods of that class. We can reuse the code.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a problem statement right now, which says that okay, calculate, okay, print all numbers. We have already seen this example from 1 to 10. We have already seen this example, but now we are not going to print all the numbers from 1 to 10. We are going to print all even numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, so what should be our approach first of all? So I'm having a range from 1 to 10. Okay, Sanya, yesterday you asked me a question. Do you remember when to use for loop and when to use while loop, right?
Right, sir.
So it's basically a choice of the developer who is writing the code. But most of the cases, when you look at the examples, like when you look at the problem statement, if the from the problem statement, if you know the boundary, like I'm going to execute from 1 to 10, so the loop is going to be executed specifically 10 times or 20 times or 100 times. When you know that, then you should go for loop. Okay, but when you're not sure like how many times the loop is going to be executed, okay, say for example there is a question like till the time the user is logged in, okay, until the user is logged in, try to send the user a notification, okay, or till the time the database is connected, try to display an UI that you are connected. So there you don't know how much like notifications you are going to send, okay, how many time you are going to display the like notification on the screen. So you are basically waiting for an event. So when the user gets logged out, then your loop should break. Understood? When the database work is done, then your loop should end. Understood? When 5 minutes are complete, then your loop should complete. So in such cases, when you are not sure how many times you are going to execute the loop, then you should go for while loop or do while loop. But if you know specifically you are going to print from 1 to 100, or you are going to choose some values from 1 to 100, then you should go for loop. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we have a scenario in which we have a boundary 1 to 10, and we are going to print all the numbers which are even. Okay, so I am going to divide this problem into multiple simple statements. So first of all, I need to have a for loop. This is the syntax of for loop. We need to have a for loop, and I am going to loop it from 1 to 10. Int index int number equals to 1. Sorry, number less than equals to 10, number plus plus. So this loop is going to execute for 10 times, because for the value of number starting with 1, this loop is going to 1 less than equal to 10, that is true. So this loop is going to be executed. When it is incremented from 1 to 2, this is becoming 2, which is less than equal to 10, it is going to increment it. So basically for all the values from 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on until we get 10, this loop is going to be executed, right? But if I write sysout number, this loop is going to print all the numbers, right? Sanya,
Yes.
just let me know if you're facing any problem. Abhinas, you also. Okay?
Yes, yes.
See, I have just printed the number and it has printed all the data. If I am interested only in 2, 4, 6, 8, because these are the even numbers, right? So I need to put a logic so that I can understand this is the number which I need to print. I should not print 3, I should not print 5. Understood? So what is the logic which defines that 1 and 3 and 5 are similar and they're different from 2, 4 and 6? Sanya, can you tell me the logic behind this?
Yes, sir.
So tell me what should I check basically if the number is?
If number divided by 2.
Okay, if the number is divisible by 2 and it doesn't
2.
have any reminder.
Reminder, yes, sir.
Okay, you can also divide.
Number mod
Go on.
2. That percentage number mod 2 equal to
Yes.
0.
So I'm coming to that. See, there are two operators. One is division operator and one is modulus operator. With division operator, if you say 6 divided by 2, you are going to get 3.
3.
Right? Six divided by 2, you are going to get 3. If you say 5 divided by 2, you are going to get
1.5.
2. If it is an integer, it will return.
It will be 2.5. Generally, it will be 2.5. But this data with decimal value, it cannot be stored in integer. So we just get 2. Okay, we just get 2 and this 0.5 is missed. That means it's not a whole number. It is having plus some decimal value. Right? So this number is actually not divisible by 2. So a number is said to be divisible by another number when the remainder, this is going to be 2 plus some remainder, right? So when the number is having some, like when you divide it, it's going to be divided properly without any like this value, without any remainder, then we say that number is divisible. So how to do that? And to achieve that, we have another operator which is called modulus. What modulus does, if you say 5 modulus 2, it's going to give you, it is just going to give you the remainder. Understood? So it is going to generate 2 plus 0.5. So it's going to remove this part. It's going to give you the remainder only. It is going to give you the 0.5 part. So how it happens? Let me tell you. So when you have 5 modulus 2, so 2 then multiplied by 2, you are getting 4 and the remainder is still 1. So you will get 1, not 0.5, you will get 1. If you have 10 modulus 3, or 5, you are going to get the remainder 5 into 2 equals to 10, and the remainder is 0. If you have 10 modulus 3, you are going to get remainder as 3 into 3 is a 9, there is 1 left, so we'll get 1. Okay, if you have 12 modulus 5, you are going to get
2.5.
not point, not
2.4.
point. No points. Come on. When you multiply 5 into 2, it's 10, and the remainder part is 2. Only 2 is left out of 12. So you'll get 2. 3 into 3, that is 9. So you get only 1 left. 5 into 2, that is 10. So you don't have anything remainder. You don't have any remainder. It's 0. So we're going to use this operator. Okay. To whenever the number is 1, or any number 1, 2, 3, or any number, we're going to divide. We're going to get the remainder by dividing with 2. Okay, so when we divide that number by 2, see here we have 1 modulus 2. Okay, let me write it. We have 1 modulus 2. What is the output? 1. Because if you want to divide 1 by 2, you cannot, and you just have 1 left. If you say 2 modulus 2, what is the output? It's going to be 0. No remainder. 3 modulus 2, you are going to get 1. Sanya, are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubt, let me know. Okay. 4 modulus 2, it's going to be 0. Similarly, Sanya, you tell me 5 modulus 2, what will be the output?
1.
How did you come to 1?
2 divided by 5, that is 2 into 2, 4, and 1 is remaining.
Right. So if I say 5 modulus 3, what will be the output?
2.
2. If I say 17 modulus 3, what will be the output?
2.
Perfect. If I say 19 modulus 10, what will be the output?
9.
9. So you understood? So what we are going to do right now, we are going to divide each and every number by 2, modulus them by 2, and what will be the remainder? If the remainder is 0, for 4 we are getting 0, for 2 we are getting 0, for 6 also we will get 0. So whenever the remainder is 0, then we can say that this is a even number. Okay, this is an even
Yes,
number.
sir.
So we are going to put that logic. So what we need to do? We need to find the remainder equals to the number. It may be 1, 2, 3, whatever, modulus 2. Understood? This is going to give us the remainder. If the remainder, now what we need to check, if the remainder
Equals to 0.
equals to 0, that
0.
means it's an even. Understood?
Yes.
So we are going to write sys out number. We don't need to write this one. Understood? Now we are not printing each and every number. We are basically calculating the remainder. If the remainder is 0, like if it is not divisible by 2, then I print the number. So let's run this code and let's look at the output. Right click, run as Java application. It has printed just 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Okay, Sanya?
Yes, sir.
Now you tell me how to check if the number is not even. If I just want to print all the odd numbers, so what should I do?
Remainder equals to 1.
Right? Any other way through which you can do that?
Not equal to 0.
Right? Not equals to 0 also we can go. We can do that. Not equals to 0.
0.
That is also going to return us the proper answer. Okay, Sanya. Now tell me all the numbers that are divisible by 3. All the numbers that are divisible by 3. How to do that?
Divisible by 3.
3 from 1 to 100.
And then number modulus
So
equals to
it is
3.
from 1 to 100. So I need to make any changes over here?
No.
We don't need to make any changes. So how many times this loop will continue? I want to print all odd numbers
All the
from 1 to 100. Okay. So I need to loop from 1 to 100, right? So I need to change this condition from 1 to 100. This loop will be executed 100 times and the number value will be 1, 2, 3, 4 like that until 100. And every time when I have a number, I am going to find the remainder by dividing with 3. If the remainder is equal to 0, that means the number is divisible by 3.
3.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, all this one. If you want to check if a number is even and divisible by 3. Understood?
Yes.
Sanya, can you help me? Okay, I got it. From 1 to 100, I need to print all the values, all the even numbers and divisible by 3 from 1 to 100. So what will be the output, Sanya, from here? Output 3, is it divisible by 3? Yes, but it is not even. 6 is divisible by 3 and is also even, so I will have 6. Then 7, 8,
12,
okay, 12,
18.
18. Like that we'll have the numbers. So
Yes.
just tell me the logic, what should I put so that I'll get these numbers?
So basically we'll put the AND condition, I think.
Yes, we can put this. So there are many ways to do that. We can either put the AND operator
And
or we can do any other way.
so we'll equal no, divisible by 6.
Perfect.
No.
If a number is divisible by 2 and 3, that means number is also divisible by 2 into 3, which is 6. Understood? So what we are going to do right now? If
Number
modulus 6 equals to,
yes.
equals to 0.
0.
Right?
Yes.
Sanya?
Yes, sir.
So understood, you can understand? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to calculate the number modulus 6 over here. So I'm going to remove one step and I'm going to directly write number modulus 6. So this is indirectly giving me the actual remainder. If that remainder is equals to 0, that means the number is divisible by both 2 and 3. Run as Java application. 6, 12, 18 that way.
One more question.
Okay.
If number the space is required, always I'm thinking.
No, it's just for like, see, this is easily understood. Now if we have this, it is very difficult, right? It doesn't look good. So that is the reason I made this. Not mandatory.
Always I'm thinking but never tried.
Okay. So that is the reason I say you go on and try all the questions. As much questions you try, you will get to know more. You need to practice more and more.
Okay. So when the AND operator means
with AND operator, should we check this with AND operator? Yes, we can. So let me do one thing. Let me comment this, and we are going to put the if condition over here, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to first check number modulus 2 equals to 0. Now it is going to help me with the even part, right? What I want, and number modulus 3 equals to 0. So if you want more clarity, you can put some more brackets over here, and the brackets will never change the order. You can have that. Now is it fine? So if within this bracket we need to find the true condition, right? So first we will check this number modulus 2 equal to 0, that means even. If this is even, that is true, and this is also need to be true. If both the things are true and true, that means the entire if block is true. If that is happening, then it is going to print the number. So if we run this code, run as Java application, it's going to give you the perfect output. Got it? Okay, now the next question, which is very similar to this one. I'm going to create another class, test2. So this question I'm going to have a similar question from 1 to 10. Find the average. So I'm going to loop across 1 to 10. That means which loop should I use, Sanya? If I'm going to use
For loop.
For loop, perfect. So I'm going to use a for loop over here. For what will be the condition? Int
I equals to
I equals
1.
to 1.
I is less than equals to 10.
Equals to 10.
And I plus plus.
I plus plus. That means this loop will continue 10 times.
Yes.
And I need to find the average. So if you are finding average, what you need to do? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, like that until 10. There will be a value. Okay, that sum divided by how many numbers you have calculated. You have calculated 1 2 3 up to 10 numbers. That value divided by 10, that is the average. So this is the formula which you are going to use. So how are you going to achieve this?
Int average equal to sum divided upon 10. And then if average
equal to
sum divided by 10.
Sum divided by 10.
And then we put if statement, if average.
Is there any condition which we need to do? Is there any if condition? I don't think. I just need to add whatever number I get. So just
it's 11 o'clock.
It's just simply sys out.
I'll have int sum equals to 0 initially. This is a sum. So what I'm going to do when I'm looping across the loop, I'll have one number at a time. I'll take this number, whatever the value of I is, I'll take that number and add to sum. So sum will be equal to sum plus the value
sum divided
of
by 10.
No. So I'm
First
going to have, just listen, when I have the sum as 0 and I'm having the value of I as 1, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this 1 and add to sum. The sum will become 1. Then I'll have the value of I equal to 2. When the loop is incremented, I'll add 1 plus 2. That is sum equal to sum plus 2. It will become 3. Similarly, it will go on. So what I need to do, I need to always update the value of sum with sum plus the value of I. So I value will be 1, 2, 3, that one. So whenever I am facing some value of I am going to add that value to sum. Sum will initially be 0 and I am going to loop across 1 till 10, and every time I am going to add the value of integer I to sum. So once that is done, I will have the entire sum ready. After the for loop, I can calculate the average int. Okay, average can be a float type or double type. So what I want to do is average equal to sum divided by 10. Both are integer values, so it can easily accommodate in double. Now I'm going to print sys out average. Sanay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Right click, run as Java application 5.0. As both of these values are integer, they are going to generate an integer value only. So if there is any decimal place, if that is missing, I can put a double. I will typecast it automatically, so the value will become a double value. So if I run it again, you can see it is having 5.5. Then can you tell me why the values are different when I divided them just sum by 10 and sum by double 10? So why the values are different? Can you recall?
Sir?
Okay, when I'm dividing sum divided by 10,
Okay.
it is giving me 5.0, but when I'm dividing sum divided by double of 10, it is giving me 5.5, right?
Right, sir.
So what is the actual, like, why this is happening? Can you tell me?
5.5.
Right.
Because
Because we are taking double data type.
Yeah, they were taking double, but when we didn't have double, why it was coming 5.0? That is the question. When we didn't have double, it was having 5.0, right? What was the
Right, sir.
reason? See, whenever you operate on two integer types, the operator is division, addition, multiplication, so whatever, whenever you operate on two integer types, the result is always an integer. Okay, so when we didn't have this double, so if you divide sum by 10, it is an integer value, it is generating an integer value,
Right.
and that integer is converted to average. So that integer, when you store a double value into an integer value, automatically the decimal part is lost. Okay, when you store an integer value, sorry, a double value into an integer, automatically the decimal part is lost. Okay, similarly, when we have the sum value, let me print the sum value. See, sum is going to be 11. Sorry, 55. Sorry, not 11. Okay, we have the sum equal to 55. When we do 55 divided by 10, it is having value is 5.5, right? But if you want to store this 5.5 into an integer value, because these two are integer, right? The result is going to be an integer. When you try to store this 5.5 into an integer, you will lose this part, right? It will be just 5. That is the reason why I had to convert this value into a double. So when we make this double, now this is a double value and this is an integer value. When you operate on an integer and a double, it's going to generate a double only. So what will be the output? The output is going to be 5.5. I can easily store this 5.5 and it is not converted, nothing is happening, so I can store this value. Okay, so now I just do one thing. I think we'll wind up the class. It's already 11. So what you can do in the meantime, you just try to go through all these questions. Okay, I have a set of around 20 questions which are based on these loops and conditional statements, conditional operators, switch case and all. Okay, loops and switch case and all. So I'll try to share that one with you. Okay, try to solve as many questions as possible. So let me know if you face any problem.
Okay.
Abhinas, you have any more doubt? You want to ask anything?
no.
It's fine. So I'll share you the question today itself. Just go through the questions, try to solve them. Don't take the help of Google or internet. Try to solve it yourself. If not happening, if you cannot do it, then let's discuss and try to solve that.